Shalom, Shalom. Call Hala Yamla, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who were well, and salutations to the hopeful elect that preach this truth throughout the four corners of the globe. All right, Shalom to you, Akim. All right, this is going to be a quick lesson about patience. All right, because when you in this truth, you're going to find yourself suffering a lot, man. All right, that's just something that's going to happen. All right, when you come into this truth, you're going to find yourself suffering a lot. All right, you're going to find more demons try to, tempt you. Your faith is going to be tried, man. All right, so whatever your weaknesses is, whatever you lack in, all right, whatever lusts that you desire, those are the things you're going to be tempted with. All right, like for an example, if you like women, if you're a person that really like indulging with women and different women and things of that nature, that could be something that Satan tempts you with. All right, that could be something that Satan could use against you. All right, or let's say that you like, materialistic things. All right, let's say you like rocking the hottest fashion or the latest clothes or whatever the fuck it may be, man. The Lord is Salakia. Satan gonna tempt you. All right, Satan gonna tempt you with those lusts that you desire, man. All right, and in order to be patient, you got to suffer through it. So with that being said, this is James chapter 1. I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, James, a servant of Yahweh and of the Lord Yahweh Shai HaHamashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. All right, and that's a verse you could use to prove that the 12 tribes was scattered across the four corners of the globe. All right, verse 2, Salakia. Verse 2, it says, my brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations. All right, so, to count it joy when you fall into diverse temptations. All right, when you go through various amounts of temptations, all right, you're supposed to count it joy. All right. So what does that mean? What does it mean to count it all joy when you fall into temptation? All right. It means that you're supposed to go about it in a positive way, man. All right. All your afflictions, all the temptations you go through, all right, all of your tribulations. Of course, it's not going to be easy to take in a cheerful manner, but at the same time, it's all about patience. All right, and Lord willing, I'm gonna grab this to back up the statement that I made. All right, because like I said, man, it's not going to be an easy thing being tempted. That's not an easy thing to go through. Temptation, that's not an easy thing to go through. All right, but at the same time, you got to count it for joy. All right, you got to take it cheerfully. Oh, Salakia. Almost grabbed the wrong scripture. Still grabbed the wrong scripture. Salakia, bear with me. All right, now this is to back up the statement I had made. All right, this is Hebrews chapter 12, verse 11. It says, now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous. All right. So that right there lets you know that whatever you go through, all right, at that time, it's not going to be something to be joyous over. It's not going to be a happy moment. It's not going to be a joyful moment. And it's not going to be an easy thing. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to read this over again. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 11. And it says, now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous. Right, because when you going through shit, when you being tempted, all right, when you going through tribulation and affliction, that's not a joyous thing when you going through it. All right, that's not nothing to be happy about when you're going through it. All right, it's kind of hard to keep a happy mind state. It's kind of hard to be positive when you're going through temptation. All right, when you starving, when you dehydrated, and shit like that. All right. I'm gonna continue reading. It says, but grievous nevertheless. Right. It's a grievous thing to be tempted, man. All right. You think Yahushua was, happy in Matthew the 4th chapter when he was being tempted? You think he was in the happiest state? He was fasting, man. All right. That was a grievous temptation that Yahushua had to go through. All right, to be tempted by Satan himself, that's a grievous thing, man. All right, when we get tempted, it's going to be a grievous thing. All right, when our faith has to be tried, all right, with that RFID chip, that's going to be a grievous moment. Satan, he come in, and you will find this very often, but your temptation is harder when you at the lowest of your lows. And that seems like when Satan come at you harder, when you at the lowest of your lows, when you at a humble estate, when you're at a low estate, that's when that temptation gets harder. All right, and that's when that faith's supposed to come in even stronger. All right, it says, but grievous nevertheless afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruits of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. Right, and that's the whole reason why you're supposed to that's the whole reason why you're supposed to count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations. All right. All right, verse 3, it says, and verse 3 breaks down verse 2. James chapter 1, verse 3, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. All right, so that's the reason why we're supposed to count it all joy when we fall into diverse temptations. All right, because that we know that it worketh patience. All right. Just like I read in Hebrews 12 and 11, it says, afterwards it yieldeth the fruits of the peaceable fruits of righteousness. All right, that's why we're supposed to take all of our afflictions cheerfully. That's why we're supposed to count it all joy when we fall into diverse temptations. It's because when you tempted, it worketh your patience. All right. Verse 4, it says, but let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. Right. And at the end of the day, man, you got to let patience run its course. You got to let the Lord do his thing, man. All right. So with that being said, you can't complain. All right. The flesh gonna kick in, but at the same time, you can't just complain. You can't give up hope. You can't be restless in this thing, man. You can't get lazy. You can't get lackadaisical. you got to let patience have her perfect work, which means that you got to let the sufferings make you and not break you, because that's what that word patient means, to suffer. All right. So you got to let the sufferings and afflictions take its course, man. You got to let the Lord do his work. All right. So you could do your work, man. All right. Because the suffering, the afflictions, the Lord warned us, man. All right. In Sirach, the 2nd chapter, it says, "When my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation," man. Roughly paraphrasing. All right. So you got to prepare your soul for temptation if you come in this truth. All right. You got to prepare for all of the sufferings that we're going to have to go through, man. All right. But you got to let the suffering, you got to suffer through the suffering, man. You got to let the tribulations take its course. All right. You got to let the temptations, let the tribulations, just let it do what it do, man. But at the same time, we supposed to stay faithful. We supposed to be patient. All right. Verse 4, it says, "But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing." Right, because look, when you become patient, all right, when you willfully wait through suffering, when you wait for the Lord through suffering, all right, because that's what being patient is, suffering and enduring suffering. That's what being patient is, to endure sufferings. Okay, so when you do that, you make yourself perfect. All right, when you suffer, when you endure suffering, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah, all right, that's building up your faith. Okay, which is making you a perfect man. All right, faith and works is what makes a man perfect. All right, if your faith pleases Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah, and your works pleases Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah, all right, then what? You're gonna be perfect and entire, lacking nothing. All right. So these sufferings that we go through on a day-to-day basis, and the sufferings we're gonna have to go through and take us trouble, is to build up our faith. All right, is to build up our patience. This is Romans chapter 5, verse 3. It says, "And not only so, but we glory in tribulations also." All right. To glory in something means to what? To rejoice. Okay. To glory in something means to praise, to rejoice. Okay. So we're gonna rejoice in our tribulations. Why? Because knowing that tribulation worketh patience. That's why, man. That's why we glory in tribulations. That's why we supposed to count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations. It's because the temptation and the tribulation is what's giving you more patience. All right, the sufferings and the tribulation is what's giving you more faith. Okay. That's why the Lord said that he was going to try the elect by the fire, man. Salakia. Let me just grab it. Every brother should just about know this scripture right here. This is Salakia. This is Zechariah. I'm gonna go straight to the point. This is Zechariah chapter 13, verse 9. "And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my God, or my power. All right, so this right here, the Lord said that he was going to bring the third part, which is talking about the elect, the 1/3 of Israel. All right, the elect. He said he's going to bring the third part through the fire. What fire, man? That fire is talking about temptations. It's talking about afflictions, atrocities, diverse temptations. So the Lord is going to bring his elect through a whole bunch of afflictions, through a whole bunch of temptations, through a whole bunch of tribulation. All right, the Lord is going to bring the elect through all of that. Okay. It says, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. Right, because that fire is what's going to make the elect. Suffering, the atrocities, the temptations, the tribulations. That's what's going to make the elect perfect. Okay? Because the elect is going to endure all of that. So that's what's going to make the elect perfect. All those things, man. The fire. All right? And when the elect is refined, that's when the elect is refined as gold is refined. When the elect is refined as silver is refined. Okay, then that's when the glory of the elect will start to come forth, man. All right, when you see brothers getting beamed up and they get their new bodies, and brothers start getting spiritual powers, that's the glory of the elect, man. But in order for that glory to come, first we got to go through the diverse temptations. We got to go through the tribulations, okay? And we got to count it all joy. All right, so I'm gonna read this last verse over again. I'm gonna read all of this over again. James chapter 1 verse 1. It says, James, a servant of Yahweh and of the Lord Yahushai HaMashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience, but patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. All right, now word wanting nothing means lacking nothing. All right. All right, this is Sirach chapter 2 verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. Right, no matter what you go through in this truth, all right, no matter what you tempted with in this truth, whatsoever is brought upon you, we got to take it cheerfully, man. All right, and taking it cheerfully means to endure. All right, taking it cheerfully is all right, this is temporary, and you know the kingdom is eternal. Okay, so if your afflictions, if your temptations is temporary, then that makes it easier to endure. Okay, taking it cheerfully, man. Taking your temptations, taking your tribulation cheerfully, man, by enduring. It says, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. Okay, so you got to be patient when the Lord bring you down. When the Lord humble you, that's a time to be patient. That's a time to suffer. That's a time to endure. That's a time to prove your faith to Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, man. Is when you brought down to a lower state. And when Jacob's trouble, man. Jacob's trouble is is upcoming and on the rise, man. Jacob's trouble is right here. All right. So that Jacob's trouble is ultimately the time where everybody is going to be brought low. Everybody's going to be humbled, and everybody's going to be at a low estate. All right. Talking about the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, all right, Seminole Native Indians. All right. It's time to turn to the Lord, man. With all of this suffering, all of these sufferings, all of these afflictions, you know, all of this calamity that's finna start increasing. It's time to turn to the Lord. It's time to praise Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and get right, man. That's what time it is. All right. It's not time to be giving in marriage, eating and drinking and shit. It's time to be fasting. All right. It's time to be throwing up hella curses. It's time to be throwing up hella blessings for the elect, man. And it's time, ultimately, it's time to be on fire. If you're not on fire, man, you're going to fuck off, man. All right. If you're not on fire right now in these times, in these last days, you're not going to make it. If you're not on fire, man. If you're not meeting the requirements, 3 videos a week. All right. If you're not meeting the requirements that the apostles and elders decree, all right, then it's going to be looking very, very bad for you, man. All right. It's time to examine ourselves. It's time to examine ourselves, man. And stop putting shit off from day to day. Okay? But Salaki, I'm going to read this over. Sirach chapter 2, verse 4. Salakia for going off topic for my rambling. But this is Sirach chapter 2, verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. There go that word patience again, man. Patient. There go that word again. All right, this is the definition for the word patient. Patience. It says, quality of being willing to bear adversities, calm endurance of misfortune, suffering. Oh, that's what that word patience means. Suffering. It means the quality of being willing to bear adversities. All right, so you got to be willing to bear all of these adversities, man. All right, you got to be willing to wait. You got to be willing to suffer. All right. So hey, man, you don't have a choice, man. You don't have a choice. If you an Israelite, you under these curses, man. So you're going to go through shit, period. If you're an Israelite, you're going to go through Jacob's trouble. All right. I'm going to keep reading. It says, patience, sufferance, permission, endurance, submission, and also indulgence, leniency, humility. It says submission to lust, literally quality of suffering. All right, so there you go, man. That word means suffering. Patience, patient means to suffer. All right, and in that suffering, we're supposed to endure and wait on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, so with that being said, Lord willing, this was a very edifying video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right, call halal yamla Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect, all right, that preach this truth, risking their lives to do so. Shalom Akim and Abad Babal.